Hi guys, my name is Faye Smith. I'm the owner and lead stylist of Faye Smith Agency. We're a makeup and hair artist agency located across Canada, and I'm here today to show you 5 different half updo hairstyles that you might want to check out. Alright guys, the first one is super simple. I'm just going to take a piece from both sides and simply twist it into the back. I always like to use the hair oil in my hands while I'm working because it helps with smoothness. So I'm literally just going to take all of this hair that is on the front, around the front, and I'm just gonna brush it back, twist it into a loose little rope here, pluck at it a little bit to make it loose and modern. Okay, and I'm just gonna pop the bobby pin on the entire section here, slide it inwards, and you always want to have a second bobby pin to crisscross. Crisscrossing is going to make sure that those bobby pins don't fall out, and I can pluck at it a little bit more just so it doesn't just look like a boring old twist. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side. And I'm literally just twisting the piece of hair in the direction that I want it to go in. And now I'm going to pin it. Alright, so again I'm taking the bobby pin in and I'm pushing it into the twist so that it hides that bobby pin. And I always add a second one to make sure that it's secure, and then you can just pluck at it a little bit and always check from the sides and from the front. See, it looks funky here, so I've got to fix it. It's always important to look from the front. I plucked at it too much on this side, so I'm going to pop some bobby pins in just to fix her up and just tighten it up a little. That looks much more presentable. And that is just 2 simple twists pulling in together into the center, just like that. Look number 1. Alright, so the next one I'm going to do is using French twists, and this time we're going to leave some hair around the ears because you don't always have to take all of the hair away from the face. You can leave a lot of hair in the front there too. Alright, so just taking a small section at the top here, and with a French twist your pieces are going over the top. So I like this braid because it's like super subtle, although I do find it shows up best on lighter hair. Whenever I do this type of French braid on darker hair, sometimes it doesn't really show up enough for it to really add to the design. With darker hair I will very commonly use a Dutch braid, which is braided in reverse and it's more 3D. Okay, so I'm just gonna switch to my regular braid back here, and I'm not going to bother to actually tie it off because I don't want to have to try and hide the pins. I'm just going to pluck at this a little bit because everything these days does seem to be, it's more popular to make everything a little bit more bohemian. And I'm almost using that like twisting design back here again. I just find that it always looks really good, but I'm going to do my braids on the sides, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Alright, so as always I'm going to turn her around for the moment of truth if I can get her off, and I definitely want to make sure that my shape is good here. And yeah, so this time I've used a braid instead of a twist, and I've left hair around the ears. A lot of people are very they feel very secure with hair around their face, very feminine, so yeah, you don't always have to whip it away. You can always leave hair in the front of the face too. Okay, so the next one is going to be a crown braid, which is always super fun and really does only work well if you have very long hair. thick hair and or hair extensions. So I'm sectioning off the top of the hair here, and I'm going to take a big chunk of hair and I'm going to be braiding it up and around. Okay, so I need to position myself in the direction that this braid is going to go, and basically start where I want it to go. And if your hair isn't long enough, you can do both sides and loop it around if you need to. If you're not going to do one on both sides, I'm just going to tuck this front hair under here so both sides are matching. And I'm just going to pop one bobby pin in, and again, as always, we pop in a second one to make sure it is nice and secure. And unclip the clip back here, of course. Okay. All right, let's do look number 4. You can always change the parting. I'm going to do a deep side part, and with this time I'm going to do a Dutch braid. And it can also half updo can be like swept to the side as well. So let's give that a go. Alright, so with the Dutch braid this time the pieces are all going under instead of over. I'm going to make this braid nice and chunky. If I was gonna do this style, I would probably actually pull out a few little
like wispies.
But Judy has very, very long hair, so wispies are not great on Judy. So in that case, I'd probably, you know, maybe just pin back a little here to make it a bit more balanced. Yeah, Judy her hair is too long. This needs to be pinned up too. And I would probably do this one with big bouncy waves rather than the mermaid waves. I feel like that would just look better. But to the side views.
Beautiful.
Okay guys, the 5th and final idea is using Topsy Tails. And there are literally like hundreds of half updo ideas out there. This is just 5 to get your brain thinking. So let's play with some Topsy Tails, which have become definitely more fashionable over the last year. I'm just taking the crown to begin with. Taking the crown is always a good place to start, assuming that I'm going to be positioning this, you know, in the back of the head. Just taking the crown, smoothing it out a little bit, splitting it, tying it into a knot, sorry. Tie it off. She's moving back again. And get a little hole in here, loosen it, get a little hole in here, and Topsy Tail. And then you actually want to pluck it, yeah, so that there's no like weird little gaps. This is supposed to be a bohemian style half updo. And I'm going to take 2 pieces from the outside. Oops, I can feel that thing from earlier. 2 pieces from the outside, over the top, smooth out the sides a little. You can do as many or as few of these as you want. You can make it go into like a full low pony, or you can just do the top for a little detail in the crown too. Lots of options. Just pull it through. You can even tighten that a little bit and pluck it in. And let's say we're going to incorporate all of it. Why not? Let's go for it today. So I'm pulling these pieces a little lower. Let's leave a little bit of hair in the front. So this is a bit of a softer style. One more. And flip it. Pull it up there. Look at it a little. Make it as loose and messy or as neat as you want, and then to finish it off, I always like to pull up the top of my hair tie here. Take a chunk of the hair from the underneath, wrap it around once and twice and through the loop, and just covers up that hair tie. And then I can actually go in with some bobby pins and just kind of, you know, reposition a few things if you want something to sit slightly differently. Just force it with the bobby pins. Alright guys, so those are just 5 half updo hairstyle ideas that I hope inspired you, whether you're a professional or someone looking to get their hairstyle by a professional. If you've got questions or comments, please leave them in the box below, and don't forget to subscribe and show your support to me. Thank you. Bye.